In order to understand this next story, I will need to first explain what a Levirate marriage is. Basically, it was their law in the Old Testament days that if a man passed and didn't have any children, his brother would marry the widow and have a child with her in order to keep the family lineage alive. Deuteronomy 25, 5-10 explains it perfectly if you want to do a deeper dive. I have it on the screen actually, just pause the video. At the time, Judah left his brothers and went down to stay with a man of Adullam named Hiram. There Judah met the daughter of a Canaanite man named Shua. He married her and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son, who was named She conceived again and she gave birth to a son named Onan. She gave birth to still another son named Shelah. Judah got a wife for his firstborn, and her name was Tamar. But Judah's firstborn, was wicked in the Lord's sight, so the Lord put him to death. Then Judah said to Onan, "Sleep with your brother's wife and fulfill your duty to her as a brother-in-law to raise up offspring for your brother." But Onan knew that the child would not be his, so whenever he slept with his brother's wife, he spilled his semen on the ground to keep from providing offspring for his brother. What he did was wicked in the Lord's sight, so the Lord put him to death also. Then Judah said to his daughter-in-law Tamar, "Live as a widow in your father's household until my son Shelah grows up," for he thought, "He may too die, just like his brothers." So Tamar went to live in her father's household. After a long time, Judah's wife, the daughter of Shua, died. When Judah had recovered from his grief, he went up to Timnah to the men who were shearing their sheep, and his friend Hira the Adullamite went with him. When Tamar was told, "Your father-in-law is on his way to Timnah to shear his sheep," she took off her widow's clothes, covered herself with a veil to disguise herself, and then sat down at the entrance of Enam, which is on the road to Timnah. For she saw that though Shelah had now grown up, she had not been given to him as a wife. When Judah saw her, he thought she was a prostitute, for she had covered her face. "I'll send you a young goat for my flock," he said. "Will you give me something as a pledge until you send it?" she asked. He said, "What pledge should I give you?" "Your seal and its cord, and the staff in your hand," she answered. So he gave them to her and slept with her, and she became pregnant by him. Meanwhile, Judah sent the young goat by his friend the Adullamite in order to get his pledge back from the woman, but he did not find her. So he went back to Judah and said, "I didn't find her. Besides, the men who lived there said there hasn't been any prostitute here." Then Judah said, "Let her keep what she has, or we will become a laughingstock." About 3 months later, Judah was told, "Your daughter-in-law Tamar is guilty of prostitution, and as a result, she is now pregnant." Judah said, "Bring her out and have her burned to death." As she was being brought out, she sent a message to her father-in-law. "I am pregnant by the man who owns these," she said. And she added, "See if you recognize who this seal and this cord and staff these are." Judah recognized them, and he said, "She is more righteous than I am, since I wouldn't give her to my son